It's a bad day to forget my glove. I want to share a story with everybody here, if that's okay. It's February 26, 2012. A warm winter day in the central city of Sanford, Florida. I want you to picture thank you. I want you to picture a young black teenager known for his love of aviation and dreams of becoming a pilot one day. A boy so young, exactly 3 weeks prior he had turned 17. They can't hear me? A boy so young, exactly 3 weeks prior he had turned 17, spending his Sunday out of school with his father, who had brought him to Sanford to escape distractions that he felt troubled his son. Once the evening had rolled around, this young boy decided to take a trip to the local gas station for a quick snack, unaware that his choice would lead to a fatal conclusion for him. On his way back from the convenience store, he became aware of a shady figure following him back to his father's house, and he made multiple efforts to lose him. Once his attempts fell short in evading this figure, a scuffle ensued among the two. That night, 29-year-old George Zimmerman, a neighborhood watch captain, decided to take matters into his own hands after seeing what he described to be a suspicious figure by following the young boy home and shooting him in the left side of his chest, sending a bullet straight into his heart. Once the police had arrived, they found the young boy lying face down in the grass. And just 3 minutes later, Trayvon Martin was pronounced dead, with nothing but a iced tea in his jacket pocket and blood splattered on his pack of Skittles. All of this befalling just under an hour from Disney World, the place where dreams come true. As for neighborhood watch Captain Zimmerman, a man who had a clear history of domestic violence and criminal misconduct throughout his life, a man who had showed explicit signs that called for prudence, was endowed as a leader of a safe, gated community, and even more, had the ability to purchase a deadly weapon. A man that walked away that night with no charges or arrests, but rather a headache and a bloody nose. Later found not guilty on accounts of self-defense, Zimmerman was involved in multiple death threats directed towards his wife's family, and innocent civilians that happened to cross paths with him at the wrong time. Yet this same man, not even 2 years later, still had the ability to purchase a tactical shotgun made by the same manufacturer that created his handgun used to kill Trayvon Martin. The same handgun which he attempted to auction off, calling it a piece of American history. Now fast forward to the current day. I stand here in front of you all as a black teenager similar to that of Trayvon Martin, with the opportunity to recite the names of those fallen victim to gun violence, whether their fate may have been dealt by the hand of a off-duty neighborhood watchman or a culturally disconnected police officer stationed in an inner-city neighborhood charged by his or her own prejudices. But similar to that of Trayvon Martin, most of you have heard these names and their stories already. With that, I form a question of myself. What can you tell a generation, a group, that thinks that they know it all? I mean, I guess they'll tell them something they don't know. Out of the 372 mass shootings of 2015, the deadliest year for such as of now, 2/3 of the incident were allegedly due to both gang-related intent and drug and alcohol abuse alike. And with minimal ambition to discredit any other point of view, I would be remiss if I left out the fact that roughly 3/4 of victims identified were black. And without truly addressing the problem where it prevails, we will be unable to work towards ridding of it. Now, before I go, I'd like to end with this. Evidence goes to show that not only a number of our law enforcement, but our elected officials as well remain dormant and nearly blind to the fact that the violence in America solely stems from the negligence towards gun control security. More so, the lack of effort that is put into effect by Congress to tighten aspects within, like a thorough background check. And this forms another apparent question in my head. If these two major groups that serve as liabilities in our daily way of life, including our own safety, are unable to deliver, then who do we trust? Now, I've seen teenagers and adults, both with simple forms of protest like these posters or "Don't shoot" written on their hands, which is a fantastic way to spark and create conversation. But considering all the mass shootings that we've suffered through as a culture, as a nation, and as a people, I ask everybody a final essential question. Something as serious as gun control, what are we doing to protect ourselves and our loved ones? Are we doing anything to prevent these public executions from repeatedly occurring, just so that we can come out of our shells for a small amount of time, speak on the issue at hand for another 2 to 3 days at most, and then stand back as if our hands are tied? I know that this country was constructed and built by strong leaders, and the strength and perseverance rooted in our nation is carried through our generation and generation into us. Now, with that being said, I call upon any and all civilized persons to take action to display the leaders that we have always been and will continue to be, to work to overcome the barriers that we first must work together in pushing through them. For this movement starts and ends with us. And one more thing. I know that the fight against stronger gun control costs millions of dollars, but I want you all to remember, peace doesn't cost a thing. Thank you.